This $81 billion company was started by two broke roommates. Despite being broke, they created a website that allows people to list and rent their homes to complete strangers. How did they make it possible? How did they come up with $1 billion idea that seemed crazy at first? In this video, we're also going to see why they decided to sell cereals and why such a strange decision became one of the best moves they made in their early years. Let's take a look at Airbnb's growth story with the housing crisis and the Great Recession. 2007 was not a good year for people in the United States, including our two friends Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia. Just like everyone else that year, the pair struggles to pay their rent. They had to figure out a way to make ends meet, even if it was just for that month. The light bulb idea struck when they noticed how all the hotels in their area were fully booked during a big design conference. A lot of people had a hard time finding accommodations. Brian and Joe saw this as a great opportunity. They decided to rent out their third bedroom to conference attendees. They bought a few airbeds and created a website called Airbed and Breakfast. They would offer an air mattress for guests to sleep in and then serve them breakfast the next day in their apartment. Charging at only $80 per night, they quickly secured 3 guests. Inspired by this small success, they enlisted the help of a former roommate, Nathan Blecharczyk. He became their lead programmer, and they officially launched Airbnb in August of 2008. Despite this promising concept, the company struggled to gain traction. Their website barely had any visitors, and they were running out of money fast. They pitched their idea to numerous potential investors, but all of them were skeptical that it would work, so they rejected them. Desperate to keep the business afloat, they decided to use multiple credit cards, which eventually led them to be in debt. $30,000 in debt to be exact. Their business was slowly slipping away until they decided to focus more on the breakfast aspect of their services. During this time, presidential campaigns were all over the news. So they decided to develop a cereal line with candidate-themed designs and titles like Obama O's, The Breakfast of Change, and Cappy N. McCain's, A Maverick in Every Bite. Their cereals turned out to be a creative success. With a price tag of $40 per cereal box, they managed to raise around $30,000. However, a couple of months after their cereal line died down, they were once again on the brink of closing down. Selling seemed like only a dumb idea or just a temporary solution, but it showed how they were creative in problem solving. In fact, it caught the attention of the Y Combinator and demonstrated their determination. This convinced Y Combinator to accept them for their startup program, received seed funding to develop their idea. Things finally started looking up for them.
But we ended up making like $30,000 of collectible breakfast cereal. So we basically said at that point, we're cereal entrepreneurs, and that was how we funded the company.
Brian, Joe, and Nathan then went on to revamp their whole website. They made it more user-friendly and featured high-quality photos of the listings. The concept of staying in unique accommodations at affordable prices began attracting more and more travelers. Word of mouth spread, and their user base grew rapidly. Today, Airbnb operates in more than 220 countries and regions, with over 150 million users, and they've even expanded their services to include experiences, allowing travelers to book activities hosted by locals. Airbnb's journey from a small idea born out of necessity to a global hospitality force is a testament to innovation, resilience, and the power of thinking outside the box. This story shows that whether you're a small business owner or a solo entrepreneur struggling with your current situation, a little bit of resourcefulness can go a long way. Even if your goal is just to make ends meet for the month, eventually all your ideas will start connecting with each other like puzzle pieces, which will then set you up for the bigger picture.